roughly 200.
That we would be using from reserves, which is coming from grant payments.
I use everything, if you got it written down here, I used it. I had it in my head, there's no summary, I just summarized it in my head, we're in the whole 200,000. You shook your head right first time, that's all I did.
Anyone else?
Okay, go ahead, Dean.
Anyone else?
All right, I'll bring you back up to the board for comments.
Quick clarification, on the raw water, we talked about leaky system leakage, and we didn't bring up this month, but the raw water meter, is it located where in the system? In other words, do we really know how much we lose in a raw water line between getting the plant or this tank, or is that?
Yeah, we have to take the meter reading from the location down there at intake. Okay.
There's a meter located at the...
At intake, so we know how much goes into the line.
That's already been-
And that meter has been calibrated in the last 5 years, so it is pretty good. Then we have a meter where it goes into the treatment plant here, okay? But then there's also the water that comes in from the wells that has to be deducted out.
There's no meter at the inlet to the tank. So we don't know what actually was delivered through the raw water line. We don't know what we lost from the lake shore to the tank. That's what we don't have that ability.
Well, I think you could with some math calculations, because you have a meter, I'll call it our cash register down at the lake, that brings the water out of the lake and over here. Then you're also putting some water in, let's say, from the wells.
I understand that.
Yeah.
No, I'm
So
talking
we
about the
pay
raw water meter on the tank.
prior to the tank.
Yeah, the tank, okay, so we can't determine the losses on the raw water line from the lake to the tank.
If we have an accurate meter, going into the treatment plant, and the tank is just a high spot in that line, then we still have that. Because it's the only use of water out of that tank is going into the treatment plant. Unless somebody's, tying on outside the tank or something, which, but there are, the line does go all the way up to Gregoris Pond, Gregoris Lake there, and that line has been shut off. It's actually shut off at the Ranchito well number 2. So it's not charged going up over the hill, but, so, yeah, I mean, that's, we had a real run on leaks for a period of time, and bad ones. And it was hard to fix, but.
Did he answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. There is no meter here.
Try 36%
Yeah.
last year.
So there was, so back to your question, there was a question about how much loss do we have between the lake and here? We don't know that then, what that loss is.
No, we'd have to run the report. We've got the data. We have the data.
Now, the next question is that part of our budget to fix that line?
No.
That's what I asked.
I mean, just long and short of it. And that was, if you look at page, if you look at page 27, The capital improvement program development, $40,000. That is to look at every single capital improvement project that the district currently has on the books, that it's thought about in the past, and every one that we might need for the future, and go through the prioritization and put an actual engineer's estimate to each one of those projects, which means that they've got to do a little bit of preliminary, they don't have to do preliminary engineering per se, in other words, plans and specifications, but they got to know what kind of environmental impact, what kind of construction constraints or issues, enough to be able to give us a reasonable estimate of cost, because in many cases in the past we've done, we've estimated doing things ourselves for major capital projects, and they've never. Construction constraints or issues, enough to be able to give us a reasonable estimate of cost, because in many cases in the past we've done, we've estimated doing things ourselves for major capital projects, and they've never been done, and it's pretty hard to rely on those past estimates when those were developed internally and without engineering expertise on some of them. And so this is to give you something that you're going to know. You could be plus or minus 10 or 15%, but a CIP will include all those things. I don't know how to prioritize that raw water line right now. You know, I mean, the dilemma is the cost of the water coming out of the treatment is 4 times more than it is going in. You know, it doesn't mean that it is less valuable. It just means that we've got a real problem with our distribution system that needs to be addressed, and this engineering evaluation will determine what those priorities are and give you really some good information about that. Because I just can't move that up to the top of the list, Dan, right now. In my recommendation, you're certainly welcome to put it in.
You cut your PG&E bill a lot.
But our cost right now is $8,000. Let's see, the purchased water actual was $8,145, and that hasn't changed much in the last 5 years. So the purchased water from MID, that's part of that cost.
The two costs that factor into what we're losing would be the intake electricity.
But our cost right now is $8,000. Let's see, the purchased water actual was $8,145, and that hasn't changed much in the last 5 years. So the purchased water from MID, that's part of that cost.
And the two costs that factor into what we're losing would be the intake electricity and the water cost at MID. So,
But then again, too, it seems to me we ought to be asking for that leakage amount
so
on a regular basis. Okay.
Okay. Any comment, Jim?
Didn't we used to have a report that showed all that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but what happened to that report?
Well, even at one time, we had general managers that go run the place.
Yeah, but I mean, there used to be that water report that had all the information.
This is their meeting.
So that's it. Okay.
Accomplishes much.
Just a couple things. We were expecting a reimbursement of $32,000 for the fire last year. Did we not get that reimbursement? Is that why it's carried over to next year? Are we just gonna So are we saying we get 3,000 this year,
No,
3,000
no,
next
no,
year?
it's a one-time.
Is it
no,
carryover?
It is the remaining money from the 2012 office fire, where the insurance company had provided us an advance to rebuild our computer infrastructure. That did not occur back in 2013 or 2012. That money went into the district account, and we just got that addressed this last fiscal year. Okay, so we just got the new computers dealt with. The thing that we haven't done is the software, the major software upgrade, okay, and that was
$24,000
required.
or whatever.
And so the insurance company they're withholding a certain amount until the very end, until we can prove that we've spent that entire amount that they advanced us. And that, and then there was an invoice for some district staff time back in the very beginning as well. That comes up to that amount of money.
So
we
we're
expect to get it
expecting
done.
to get $32,000.
That is.
Long and short.
That is, I've got to condition it, unfortunately.
No, I
because-
understand. Based on our invoices, that's what will be reimbursed, but it could be up to $32,000.
Up to.
Okay, based on what
If
we
the
actually
cost
spent.
of the
it's a reimbursement.
technology
Okay.
is less,
No, that answers
and
my
that
question.
32,000 is, we didn't spend all of what they advanced
Yeah,
us,
sure.
it's going to tick off of that,
Of course.
one for one.
Well, I mean, it's saying we could have $32,000 worth of reimbursables, but we only spent $5,000. We're only gonna get $5,000 back. That's just the way it goes. But based on your estimates, it should be about $32,000. That was my question. I think it was great to see that we're gonna replace some trucks. There's a little disparity in the numbers there, 2 different types of trucks, is that why? One at 32,000, one at 40,000?
Different types
I
of
mean-
equipment on it.
Okay, that's what I figured. I figured 2 different payloads, or one is a 350, one is a 150 out or whatever. Miscellaneous other expenses, 26,
What page are you on?
26.
Okay, no, you're at 26,000 or what?
I knew somebody was gonna ask. Is that just from, is it like it says, is it miscellaneous other expenses? Second line, page 26.
Yeah, should have,
You're on the wrong page.
All
Other
right, thank
expenses, there you go. Third item down, miscellaneous other expenses. Is that gonna be dedicated
Oh.
for board member tablets, or is it gonna be miscellaneous expenses? It
Um,
bothers me that we put board member tablets, but I think
No,
that's what it's
it's-
gonna be, that's what it's gonna be.
That is, thank you for bringing that up, that is a change from the approved preliminary budget. And it was a discussion that Cindy and I have had about the production of board packets and the amount of effort in the distribution. And it's something that would be hard to expect you to print out yourself and receive it electronically. This would be an electronic file that you could receive and carry the tablet with you. Those don't need to be the same tablets as the outside tablets.
For sure.
So that is something, it was just it was an item that we had talked about and carried forward. And that is something.
It's a possibility.
It is a discretionary, if you,
Yeah.
Cindy, am I missing something on this, on what? A lot of districts are going there just because it saves on the amount of paper and the
Printing
amount of
costs, you got
effort.
people driving things all over. Yeah. In the long run, it can save money.
And it just brings us into 2000.
Yeah, I agree, I'm a technology guy.
You gotta send it to.
We'll talk to you afterwards about
Well,
that.
and sometimes
I just wanted to make sure. You can
having
do other
the
things
crew
and-
come
Yeah.
late, in the
Yes.
evening, or even during the day, it takes them away from their work.
No, I agree.
All kinds of reasons.
Are you gonna send us a tablet screen? I don't know anything about it.
Well, okay, he broached the topic, that's my concern. We do have an older community here.
Yep.
And typically, many people's members that are on the board here, and I don't need to demean
Older than me.
you. They're older than me.
I think it's everybody did his right.
I was born and raised in the technological age. I'm very familiar with technology, and I feel that although it is a great venture, the older community that we have here in the Lake Don Pedro area would have a very difficult time adapting to something like that. I could be wrong. It's just my thoughts.
If we can
And-
It was honestly my opinion that we have a really smart board right now.
But you know, but you understand what I'm saying, there are growing pains, and
But, you know, a lot of the computer stuff is when you're doing inputting and data and everything. This is merely opening it up and seeing the packet, basically. And then later.
I thought about doing it myself, I have a tablet, so,
You'd also have past information, passport packets that
Yeah.
you'd have access to it, you know.
No,
I mean, not that you don't have printed copies in your office at home or your living room or whatever, but then also,
I see the benefits, but much like Emery said, are you gonna teach me how to turn the dang thing on?
And you gotta get tech support too.
It's,
And you got good Wi-Fi.
it creates another possible problem. Tech support. I just mentioned it. Suddenly, Emery comes to the meeting, oh, I dropped my tablet in the toilet.
We'll have some.
You know what I mean? It can happen, so it's
Yeah,
just.
what's gonna happen?
Upgrades.
And I'll kick you out, come out.
Yeah. So I went a little far with that, but he broached it, and that was a concern of mine, so something to consider. It's budgeted, if we go there, we don't, if we go there or don't, it doesn't matter to me. And I think that was about it. I wish I was at the last meeting, that's what I'm gonna leave it at.
On page 25, there's an item there that says outside services.